Summary. He blinked sleepily up at the teachers, hopped up on painkillers. Oh, Sensei, this is my nii-san. He's my brother. Aizawa Sensei stared across Izuku's hospital bed at the up-and-coming supervillain sat across from him. What the actual fuck? Some dopey Izuku and Big Bro Shiggy. Edit. Bromura. Training had barely wrapped when Izuku's knees began wobbling like overcooked noodles. Aizawa had been watching him all day, the same way a tired parent watches a toddler carrying a glass of orange juice. I know this ends badly, I just don't know when. Class 1A was pretending not to stare, which means they were absolutely staring. Midoriya is perspiring at an alarming rate, Ida whispers loudly. Uraraka wrung her hands. Has he blinked at all today? Even Bakugo scowled at him. If you pass out, I swear I'll... Izuku fainted. He didn't even try and fall gracefully. 1 second, he was trying to give Aizawa a thumbs up. The next, he did a dramatic flop straight forward. That's it, he muttered, scooping Izuku up bridal style. We're done. Izuku, deeply unconscious, drooled onto Aizawa's capture weapon. Recovery Girl shook her head like she was witnessing the world's slowest car crash. He's exhausted, she said. No kidding. All Might, in skinny form, hovered like a stressed stork. Young Midoriya must have been training exceptionally hard. He fell asleep standing up during warm-ups, Aizawa deadpanned. Twice. They stood around Izuku's bed, watching him snore softly like a cat trapped in a burrito of medical blankets. Well, Recovery Girl said at last. We need to send him home. Call his guardian. Aizawa opened Izuku's file, scrolling until he found the number listed under Mother, Primary Contact. He dialed. The room went quiet. Ring, ring. Click. A voice snapped through the speaker, like someone had awoken a beast. Who the fuck is this? All Might jolted so hard he nearly deflated entirely. Recovery Girl's eyebrows launched into orbit. Aizawa stared at the phone like it had just insulted his entire bloodline. This is Aizawa, he said slowly. Izuku's homeroom teacher. A loud, theatrical groan blasted through the phone. What did he do now? You know what? Never mind. Just punish him. I don't care. Click. Silence. All Might blinked. Young Midoriya's mother is not how I remember. Recovery Girl muttered, Goodness gracious. Aizawa lowered the phone with all the emotional energy of a cat watching someone break its favorite mug. Then he turned the page. There's another number, All Might said, peering. nii-san. He has a big brother. Why didn't young Midoriya ever mention? Problem Child narrates his entire life story at random intervals. How did we miss this? Still, he dialed. It barely rang once. A voice answered, cautious, vaguely familiar, and 10 times more polite than the last one. Who is this? Shigaraki Tomura had seen a lot of weird things in his life. Exploding buildings, sentient slime monsters. That one time Spinner tried making him drink wheatgrass juice, and he nearly disintegrated the blender out of spite. But nothing ranked as high on his personal weird scale as receiving a call from UA High. His phone buzzed once. He checked the caller ID. Unknown number. Suspicious. Who is this? A calm, tired voice replied. This is UA High. I am Izuku Midoriya's homeroom teacher. He has you listed second on his emergency contacts as nii-san. Does any of that sound familiar? Shigaraki froze. So hard, he was 90% sure his quirk could have activated if not for the gloves. Why is UA calling me? Did the brat get caught doing something stupid? Did he expose me? Did he fall down the stairs? Did the villain attack? Wait, I am the villain. Focus. Then panic hit him like a bus. Is it okay? Is he hurt? Did something happen? What happened? Tell me. The teacher cut him off. Your younger brother collapsed from exhaustion. Shigaraki inhaled so sharply he nearly swallowed air wrong. The phone almost slipped out of his hand. He collapsed? Why? He knows better than that. Inko. He snapped back fast. I'll be there in 5 minutes. He hung up before the teacher could ask, 10 very important questions. This is UA High. I'm Izuku Midoriya's homeroom teacher, Aizawa said. You're listed as a second emergency contact? nii-san? Older brother. Does that sound familiar? There was a pause. Then the voice exploded into frantic panic mode. Is Izuku okay? Did he get hurt? Is he in the hospital? Did a villain break in? He collapsed from exhaustion. The sharp inhale that followed could have vacuumed every dust particle out of the room. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Click. All Might blinked. I know that voice. Recovery Girl raised an eyebrow. Do you? But Aizawa was already thinking. 5 minutes? Does this man live in the vents? He did not have time to question it. A commotion erupted outside the office. The warp gate spat him out just shy of UA's main building because Kurogiri refused to open one inside the school. I am not dropping you directly into enemy territory, Kurogiri had said primly. Coward, Shigaraki muttered, already sprinting. And reckless, Kurogiri had replied before the portal closed. Shigaraki bolted across the ground at a speed that would have made Ida weep with pride. Vlad King spotted him halfway and did the sensible thing. Yell loudly. Hey, you! Stop! Shigaraki, respectfully, did not. Hey, slow down! Vlad King yelled, sprinting after a blur of movement. A masked stranger shoved past him, skidding to a stop in the doorway like he'd run there from outside the country. The moment he saw Aizawa, he straightened. I'm Izuku's older brother. You called? His tone was flat. His breathing was unreasonably calm for someone who had clearly just parkoured through half the campus. Vlad King pointed dramatically. Aizawa, you didn't run through? I did, Aizawa said. Close the door. The door shut. The room went quiet. The masked man walked to Izuku's bedside, gaze softening immediately. He sat, shoulders tense but unmistakably protective, hovering a hand over Izuku like he wasn't sure touching him in front of teachers was allowed. Aizawa watched him closely. So, the man said, voice low. He said he collapsed. Recovery Girl nodded. From exhaustion. The man sighed heavily. Did you try calling Inko first? All Might visibly wilted. We did, but she wasn't receptive. That's one way to put it, Aizawa muttered. The man waved a hand. Don't worry about her. Izuku stays with me when he can, but he has to stay there most of the time since my place is too far from UA. Aizawa narrowed his eyes. And who exactly are you? The man hesitated. His older brother. Aizawa did not blink. Who are you really? The stranger stiffened like someone had pressed a villain spotlight directly on him. Izuku can vouch for me, but you're not gonna like this. He lifted his hands, tugged off his mask, and Aizawa activated his quirk instantly. All Might choked. Recovery Girl whispered, Oh dear, because underneath the mask was Shigaraki Tomura, leader of the League of Villains, current holder of most likely to kidnap you, but not today apparently. But he didn't move to fight. He lifted his gloved hands quickly. See? Gloves. Not crumbling anything. I'm a villain, sure, but I'm a brother first. The room fell into stunned silence. Then, Izuku stirred. All 4 people froze like they'd just been caught doing something illegal. Izuku blinked open his eyes, unfocused and blurry from exhaustion and whatever painkillers Recovery Girl had pumped him full of. He looked around the room in a slow arc. His gaze landed on Shigaraki. Izuku broke into the dopiest grin Aizawa had ever seen. nii-san, he slurred, reaching up and grabbing Shigaraki's cheeks and squished them together. All Might audibly gasped. Aizawa contemplated lying down on the floor. Shigaraki? He looked relieved. Genuinely relieved. He even leaned into the grab a little. You fainted, Izuku, he said gently. Remember? Oh, yeah. Izuku nodded sagely, then flopped backwards into the pillow like a dying fish. He blinked sleepily up at the teachers. Oh, Sensei, this is nii-san. He's my brother. Aizawa stared across Izuku's hospital bed at the up-and-coming supervillain sat across from him. What the actual fuck? He opened his mouth to speak. He had no idea what he'd planned to say, but Izuku shot upright again. Can I go with you? I don't want to go home. Shigaraki didn't even blink. Yeah, I've already got your room ready. Izuku fist pumped weakly. Yay, sleep over at nii-san. Then he threw himself onto Shigaraki like a happy, exhausted koala. Shigaraki caught him. Recovery Girl cheered internally at the lack of head injuries. Aizawa stared. This is my life now. Shigaraki pulled out his phone with one hand, texting someone so fast it had to be a quirk. He looked up. I'll send you photos so you know he's fine. You've got my home number. Aizawa wanted to protest, but Izuku was already drooling on Shigaraki's shoulder. Shigaraki stood, adjusting Izuku carefully. Izuku's arms immediately looped around his neck, his face melting into the crook automatically. Tired, he mumbled. Shigaraki softened visibly. I know, Zoom, I know. Aizawa followed them to the gate, processing all possible life choices that brought him here. A portal opened. Shigaraki stepped into it. They vanished. Aizawa stared at the empty air for a long moment. Did I actually allow that? True to his word, later that evening, Aizawa received 2 photos of the green problem child. The first was a picture of Izuku asleep, hanging off Shigaraki. The second was a photo of him sat at a bar? Aizawa mentally sighed. It's whatever at this point. And eating a meal wrapped in a blanket, the warp villain notable in the background. Well, at least his problem child is in good hands. And if some of the staff noticed Aizawa check his phone and hide a smile behind his scarf, they didn't say anything.